The university I chose was Kaunas University of Technology. It's in Lithuania. It's in the city called Kaunas, and which is the second biggest city, by the way, in the
Yes.
country. And the the study program I chose was Industrial Technology and Management. I joined a lot of student organizations like ESN, which is called Erasmus Student Network, and I saw that they're having a community, and I wanted to be a part of new communities. So that's how I went, and I socialize. This will be my way of socializing. I was studying in the economics and business faculty, and in my opinion, it felt like it was the most nicest faculty out there. Of course, there was mechanical engineering faculty, electronics engineering, all those were different faculties. And in my faculty, everything was very hands-on approach, I would say. It was it was pretty practical. So that, and I'm a good presenter, so that helped me thrive, I would say. All my professors, especially though I hated mathematics and everything, my math professor is a genius. He is a genius on a whole different level, and I mean, we are still friends on LinkedIn right now. So yeah, and I see that he's a mathematician, analytical person, even for not just for my university, but also he's doing something for European councils, for European Union. Yeah, on a bigger scale. So and he would try to apply mathematics models in reality, in practicality. Best part of my life, the best part of my life, honestly speaking.
Yes.
I could definitely give you a little bit brief about what my Erasmus was. So I decided to go to Budapest, in Hungary. Yeah, it was, and that it came after a huge competition, because everyone wants to go for Erasmus, because first of all, you get grants, you get funding from the European Union.
Yeah.
And then also, if you are a very high performing student, then you also have a scholarship from the university. I moved to Vilnius, started working in Western Union, because Western Union offered me a job. I started working as a sales associate. I can't be in that place for a long time. I need to keep growing.
Yeah.
And I moved to internal audit, and then I became an auditor, and that was one of the proudest moments of my life. Swedish bank, they came forward and they offered me a role, saying that, do you want to work with us instead? I said, of course. I'm already in fintech because Western Union, so might as well. That's a step up again, and I was like, all right, I'm taking this. And then I started working again in SEB Bank, and in SEB Bank I worked as a credit officer. Another fintech came forward. It's called Wittix. And they came forward and they said that, I know that you worked as internal auditor and everything, but we know that you can talk well. So would you like to work as a sales account manager?
Hello, everybody. Welcome, all of you. My name is Shivaraman, Director of Europe Study Center. So as you all know, in our channel, we have been posting plenty of interviews. And thanks to all those students coming forward and doing these interviews for us as well as for the audience. Today, we are going to interview our student Roshan, who studied his bachelor's in Europe and currently working in Europe. Roshan, welcome to the show, Roshan.
Thank you, Mr. Siva, for having me to your show. I've been watching plenty of your videos, and it's pretty honor myself that you've recognized and you've invited me for this. So thank you so much for having me.
Thanks for accepting our invite. Before we discuss a lot of things, kindly introduce yourself to our audience, Roshan.
All right. So my name is Roshan, and I'm from Chennai. I studied my high school and my entire schooling in Sherwood Hall Senior Secondary School, which is in Chetpet. And then I did my bachelor's in Kaunas University of Technology in Lithuania. And now I work as a sales manager and sales and account manager in a fintech called Wittix.
Excellent. So you were one of the few fortunate students who got the opportunity and also made it count of doing your bachelor's itself in Europe. Looking back, at this journey, are you happy with your decision?
100%. I think that is something. If you would have asked me this question, I think 9 years ago, I think that would be more of a. I would say no. I don't think it's a good idea what I'm doing. But now, when you're asking me this question, 100%, I think it's one of the best decisions of my life, I would say.
Exactly. And I tell my office staff members also, my own children, of course, even though they are all in the third standard, fourth standard levels, nothing like going abroad at UG level. You packing your bags at the age of 17 and studying in a university which is ranked at par with IIT Madras, in a top European public university at an affordable cost. I guess it's a no-brainer decision to grab this with both of your hands.
Certainly, I agree 100%.
Okay, wonderful. So then, when did this thought process come into your family or within you? Why don't we do UG abroad? How did this start actually?
I would say I think this was already heading towards board examinations and 12th standard, and then already even before your exams are coming in, you're already planning, okay, which university to go to. And at that point, well, since I'm from Chennai, the most popular colleges were Loyola, SRM, and so those kind of things. And for me personally, I always felt that I've been an exceptional kid myself. I've always stood out from the crowd. So I've always I didn't want to follow the crowd. If everybody's just going to Loyola I just couldn't take it because it doesn't mean I'm Roshan. Then it just feels like I'm just following like sheep. So so I felt okay. What can I do differently? And at that time, I was going through a lot of things as well because I lost my father before my board exams. So it was a very interesting period, and that's when I had to improvise the idea because, of course, I think if my father was alive, then probably he would force me to either be in Chennai or go to the UK or Canada or some cliche places of sheeps, which I personally wouldn't want to. So I had to improvise, and I was looking for other opportunities, other countries that would probably give me some sort of a scholarship or something like. And that's when I went to my mom and I said, "Mom, would you be okay if I would go abroad to study?" And of course, every mother has this fear, oh my God, how will you survive? What will you do? It's such a big decision, And I said, "Ma, I understand it is, but she said, okay, give me some time, Prashant, to think about it." And
Okay.
then she took some time and she herself came to me and she said, "You know what? If you feel like you want to do this, I support you 100%, because this is what a mother should do. I'm not supposed to be keeping you in shelter, but actually let you go and thrive in a new environment and come up in life." And seeing my history in school and how I was thriving in school and everything, she believed that I would thrive wherever I go, because it's all about the character. And that's when it all started. And then I started to look into how I could go for an affordable place. And that's when I came across ESC. So someone told me that there's a consultancy called Europe Study Center. So they're sending students to Europe. And at the time, again, Lithuania wasn't really set in stone for me. At that point, it was more like, okay, let's go to ESC first and then talk. And I still remember my first counselor. Yeah, my first counselor her name was Subhashini, ma'am. Fantastic woman. And I felt like I was talking to a psychologist, I would say, because she gave us utmost comfort. She came and said, "Roshan, don't worry, we'll give you options. We'll help you with every step on the way, including from the moment you get started, point A to point Z. Everything we will help you with. You don't have to worry about it. All you have to tell us is your preference. We'll give you options even." And then it started slowly, and that's when I think some countries were listed, and again, those were for engineering, and I'm a pure business person. So my mentality from the beginning has been business. So, and I wanted to do something different, like not just go to those same countries like in Germany or France, or it felt different. So the Baltics came in mind. Then I had the opportunity to, let's say, browse through these options of Latvia, Lithuania, Estonia, and Poland. And Poland was out, for me at least personally, Poland was out of the equation because I wanted to earn in euros, That's the thing. As I was even going for bachelor's, my thinking was further ahead. I was like, okay, how am I earning?
You're already thinking ahead. Wonderful. Okay.
So I was like, no, I want to earn in euros. So zlotys is not an option. So Poland was out. And now it was between these three countries. And that's when I had to do a little bit of research to understand where I would like and everything. And I had a friend who was studying here at the time as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I asked her, where are you and how is this country? She said, okay, it's a pretty interesting country, but one thing is that you won't be bored, she said. And that is exactly what I was looking for, not to be bored. I love adrenaline. I love to thrive in such environments. And then I chose Lithuania, and then I came to ESC, and I told them that, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to go to Lithuania.
Excellent. Just to summarize, just for the audience clarity, I have certain strict parameters when it comes to bachelors. Only
Yeah.
when those satisfy, I keep those options on the table for you guys to choose with. First point, it should
Yeah.
be the #1 public university in that country. That is
Yeah.
my first priority. And of course, it should be in Schengen. That is default. I don't have to specify. The second point is medium of instruction should be only in English. That's the second point. Third point is it should be affordable fee structure, plus or minus, 3 lakhs per year, approximately fee structure. When all these parameters fall in place, then only we keep the options. For example, even today we have for bachelors, I mean, Lithuania, Latvia, of course, we have added Belgium and Hungary and few other countries also. So when these parameters are set and students choose us from that, we are very comfortable, because if you put in the efforts, you get the results basically. So
Absolutely.
what was the university's name you choose, and what was the program you studied?
The university I chose was Kaunas University of Technology. It's in Lithuania. It's in the city called Kaunas, and which is the second biggest city, by the way, in the country. And the study program I chose was Industrial Technology and Management.
Wonderful, excellent. So it's a 4-year degree.
It's a 4-year degree, and it's more, let's say, it's more like Bachelor's of Business Administration, but in a nutshell, that's the essence of it. But also on the side of a little bit of engineering as well, a little bit, which is very important, because I felt that in today's world, you can't just be in one stream completely. It's a little bit of basics of everything. So that was a perfect course for me.
Excellent. At the age of 17, going abroad for bachelor's will be like from a boy to man conversion, right? Where everything you are spoon fed. Once you board the flight, nothing else, from there you have to be on your own. How did you, I know that you enjoyed that transition, but let us know, how did you manage this particular thing?
Enjoy, yes, I did enjoy it, but you're absolutely right. Actually, 100%. I still remember.
Sorry to interrupt. Why I said you enjoyed, because you already had a preset mind. You want to go to an offbeat place, and you want to have a affordable education, and you don't want to follow the same old path. You want to be innovative. So once you get it, of course you will not sit and regret, right? Of course you will enjoy. That is why I said so. Please continue.
I completely understand. I think my first, the moment I was very excited. The moment I was boarding this flight to Lithuania, I was like, all right, this is going to be a beginning of something great, Roshan. You can do this. And the moment I landed in Lithuania, of course, 17-year-old, as you mentioned, spoon-fed, made sure everything was taken, in the most smallest details in my life were taken care of by someone else. So to come here, and now I'm standing, and I had a cultural shock for sure. I was standing there, I'm like, oh my God, okay, I'm here now. What now? What happens now? Where is the map? Who's gonna tell me? Okay, who's gonna do my laundry? Who's gonna do my things? What is happening?
Before we talk about your journey into Lithuania, I forgot to ask you a question. Once you decided, okay, KTU, Lithuania is what you're going to study, there will be plenty of aunties and uncles and neighbors trying to change your plans. So how did you avoid that particular aspect actually?
I would say this is all dependent on mom. Because my mom is a strong lady, and she's like me. She's been a very different in aspects. A lot, of course. This situation also came up where a lot of people try to change their mind. Oh, if he goes there, he's gonna get spoiled. Oh, like
as if,
yeah.
Sorry, as if they study here, they'll become a saint or something like that. This is what people assume.
Yeah, I don't get this logic, but again, everybody speaks from their, it's like a race horse, so this is their vision. So that's what they see. And my mom, for some reason, could see a little bit more broader. Yeah, she saw the big picture, and she said, let him go and thrive.
Nothing wrong. And even I was telling my staff members yesterday, I think we should put a board outside. Uncles and aunties and neighbors of the student are not allowed inside the office. I wanted to put that, because these are the people who have spoiled plenty of children's, career. Spoiled in a sense, they would have gone even bigger. But as you said, the conservative mindset and all these things. So,
And
with your mom's motivation and support, you kind of slowly settle down into the process. So how was your first semester at KTU?
the first semester, I would say, was a bit challenging because I had mathematics and I hated mathematics. I hated mathematics from my heart. And I remember this situation where I was telling my professor, listen, just go easy on me, please. I know I'm not going to do great in mathematics. I would settle for a decent bare minimum passing grade, but please make sure I pass. And he said, well, it depends on you. So, which is absolutely true because I see that a lot of because I came around with 200 people, I believe, at the time, from different parts of India and different parts of the world as well. 200-300 people who showed up with me. So some people, they feel very entitled. They feel that like how you could, I don't know, and I'm not trying to disrespect any Indian institution or whatsoever, but they feel that in India you could thrive by just saying that, hey, let's settle something, or can you just go easy on me? So this kind of methodology.
For that methodology, why you go abroad? You sit here, nah? Why you go there?
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my God, Siva, you actually understand this thing, So I think
see, when it's raining, you get out of your house and you complain that you got wet. It's foolish. You might as well sit at home, right? Why do you go outside?
absolutely correct. Absolutely spot on. But I had a community of I'm a very social person as well. So for me, I attracted a lot of because again, I was very different. So I had this feel like, oh my God, who's this guy? Oh, and since I'm from Chennai, they expected me to speak in Tamil, and they expected me to be in this crowd, a community of Indians all the time. And I'm not like this. If I wanted to be like, I would be in Chennai. I wouldn't come here. I wanted to meet people from different parts of the world, learn new culture, experience new friendship, new culture. So I was doing all those things, and I think that's what helped with first semester.
Just to add to your point, I tell my kids, when they go for bachelors, after going there, if you are still behind all these Ramesh and Suresh, might as well don't go abroad. Okay, you make friends with other country people also, so that you are able to integrate and learn more. Yeah, this is what I wanted to add right now.
Absolutely correct, and I think that is what is that shows growth in you itself. Because again, if you I'm sorry, but the crowd that I came with, I never felt that they really wanted to come here to study. It felt like their parents just forced them, and just go பாரு man in ஏதாவது work ஆச்சுன்னா okay, if it doesn't work out பாத்துக்கலாம் அந்த மாதிரி. It was like this, but for me, I had a very clear plan what I wanted to do with my life. So that what helped me kept in my path. And yes, I joined a lot of student organizations like ESN, which is called Erasmus Student Network, and I saw that they're having a community, and I wanted to be a part of new communities. So that's how I went, and I socialize. This will be my way of socializing. I started joining them. The moment I joined, again, I just can't sit quiet. At that moment, I just didn't want to be a very regular member. I saw that there's going to be a new election coming up for the board of ESN.
Wow.
And yeah. And then I said, you know what, Roshan, let's go for it. And they said, well, there's only one candidate who's standing up for presidency. And just 2 months into this organization, I said, you know what, I'm standing up for the presidency. I'm going to challenge you. And well, of course, that was a fun thing. Hopefully, we'll catch up in the next set of questions. But that helped me to meet new people, and these people, they helped me with mathematics. And because there were times where I didn't know what to do, and they'll be like, Roshan, we'll help you. Let's meet after university. Let's sit down and tell us what's up and everything. And they help. And with everything else, I'm a smart kid, so everything else was very easy for me, regardless. And just mathematics was a problem, which I overcame because of my friends who helped me. They tutored me and everything, because tuition was pretty expensive if you would go pay professionally outside. So again, you see what networking does. It made you get education and tutoring for free. You have to take them for dinner sometimes, probably, and that is something you enjoy too.
Yes, and this is why I tell all the parents when they visit, if at all they meet me, when their kids are just after completing their 12th, only request I make is whatever you study, please keep mathematics in your 11th and 12th. without mathematics, mathematics, never ever think of going outside of India. It's a non-starter nowadays. So please
Yeah.
have mathematics in your this thing. So which you rightly said, you participated in ESN, did all these things. In life, Roshan, which I'm sure you will surely accept, you will always regret for those who missed for the things you missed in life doing it, rather than which you actually did it. What do you feel about this particular point?
Absolutely, absolutely. I have this tendency to think that let's take all the chances, because taking chances and then not winning or not succeeding is still better than regret. And I think regret is the most strongest emotion that I would never want to feel in my life. So I think I just take all my chances. Win or lose, that's another part of the story. At least I know I tried.
Exactly. And it's one life. Without exploring, what is it you're going to sit and do?
Exactly.
Right, and at the same time, Roshan, by the way, audience, when we talk about risk, Roshan was always calculative, even though he was 17 years old. Maybe he learned from his mother or himself. He spent minimal and then learned a lot. For example, Roshan, do you know the fee structure in Chennai right now? Chennai or Bangalore for an engineering course?
No, I don't know, but I do know one thing is that even before the fee structure, you still have to pay something called donation. And I think that is already pretty massive.
That is not even on the table or, somewhere. That is separate. The maximum fee structure that they pay right now in Chennai or Bangalore is 7 to 8 lakhs per year.
For engineering, is it?
Per year is what they pay.
Oh wow, it's almost getting like to United States level, but the quality, I doubt it though.
No, it's a no-brainer answer. It's a straightforward answer. That's it. See, the concept of the quality getting low, the fees getting higher. Whereas in European countries, we have started to get many emails from universities telling us that important information we have to share, which you should get updated from next year. There is no fees. We have started to get these sort of emails. It's good for the students. They just spend for their living expenses and do it. So kind of other than this mathematics, everything else was comfortable, when it comes to your education. Second, third, fourth semesters.
Yeah, I think so. Because again, it was for me. I was studying in the economics and business faculty, and in my opinion, it felt like it was the most nicest faculty out there. Of course, there was mechanical engineering faculty, electronics engineering, and all those were different faculties. And in my faculty, everything was very hands-on approach, I would say. It was pretty practical. So that, and I'm a good presenter, so that helped me thrive, I would say. So that made it easy. And plus, again, it was something I always wanted to do, business, So it was basically marketing, human resources, business planning and analysis, data analysis. So all those things were part of my curriculum. So yeah, I did have my ups and downs. Of course, I'm a student, so I did have my ups and downs.
4 years, right? 1,300 days. Of course, you will have lots of ups and downs, and end of the day, it will be majorly ups and take us forward.
Absolutely. And I always have this concept of like it says about heart, in your heart rate and everything. It has to be ups and downs, That's what shows that you lived a life, basically. So I think that really helped me live this life. And I think over 4 years, that was fantastic experience for me. Those down moments taught me how things could be. And I learned a lot, especially in those moments when I was down. Then I was up, because when I was having those very high moments and everything, yeah, okay, okay, I'm the best and this and that. So that is what you see. But when you're down, you're thinking, okay, what can I learn from this? What is life trying to teach me at this point? So I think this is what exactly. What is the solution? Because I never focus so much on the problem or what is causing the problem. My approach is always about, okay, there is already a problem. What is the point of thinking about it? What is the solution? What can I do to resolve it?
Yeah, the same thing I ask in my office also. Yeah, I do understand this is the problem. What is the solution? That's why, my team members, more than explaining me about the problem, they immediately start talking about the solutions. So I think this has to be the, the way we approach the problem.
Absolutely.
So Roshan, now thing is like, you were like super committed, motivated, you wanted to explore, learn, do your best. Everything we put it one side. Okay. But, without the help from professors, or without studying our subjects through knowledgeable professors, then it's a big missing part in the puzzle, right? Professor's role is very important.
Absolutely. All my professors, especially though I hated mathematics and everything, my math professor is a genius. He is a
Yes.
genius on a whole different level. And I mean, we are still friends on LinkedIn right now. So yeah, and I see that he's a mathematician, analytical person, even for not just for my university, but also he's doing something for European councils, for European Union. Yeah, on a bigger scale. So and he would try to apply mathematics models in reality, in practicality. He'll say that when you're going for a hike, you would see two mountains and you would want to calculate the distance between. I said, no, I will never do this. I just want to enjoy my hike. But I'd like to see how he sees those things, how he perceives those things. And that's fantastic as a genius. So all my professors were pretty smart. They thought I learned a lot from them.
Exactly. And Roshan, I would have sent thousands and thousands and thousands of students from India to study in European countries. But this moment, I will stop it. If I could get professors like the ones in Europe teaching my students back home in India, why would I even send a single student abroad, Roshan? You may have 1,000-acre campus. You can have complete air condition. Okay. And you can have 500 buses. And you can have, a hall. Smart boards. Where you have a hall where 1,000 students can have their lunch at one point. What's the use, my dear friend? What's the use? You don't have latest syllabus. You don't have experienced faculties. Then it's like, operation went very well. The patient never complained because he was dead long back. That's
no, yeah. Absolutely. No, that is true.
Last week, Roshan, a parent came to me. Sir, I have a question. This side, I have the offer letter that you gave. This is XYZ college. I don't want to say the name. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He asked, he told me, what is the risk, of not choosing this European education? I said, the risk of the concept of you ignoring such a golden opportunity is the biggest risk. Then comes his next question. Sir, will my son complete the studies on time? Will he get employment? Can you give guarantee? I said, excuse me, these two questions, the questions are correct, but whom you should ask this question, you should understand that. There is a Tamil dialogue, I don't know how much Tamil movies you see. There is a movie where Suri says, Nalla English பேச தெரிஞ்ச உனக்கு அந்த கேள்வியை யார்கிட்ட கேட்கணும்னு தெரியலையே அப்படின்றது. Okay, same way, the question should be asked to the student. Some parents, they come and ask me, Roshan, sir, we have no requirements, sir. I saw all your interviews. Everything was clear. Just find something where my son or daughter can study very easily. And immediately after studies, one super job. That's all, sir. Other than that, we don't want anything else. Then I say, you see video in YouTube. That is where everything will go smoothly. No, it doesn't work that way. That is when I decided, Roshan, I should request you all to come forward and spend 1 hour with us and do these interviews. So once again, thanks for, spending your time. So we were speaking about professors because professors are everything. That is the reason why I have been doing this for the past 16 plus years, sending students to top European public universities. So then you did also Erasmus, right?
Outside of... Yes. Yeah. Oh yes. The best part of my life. The best part of my life, honestly speaking.
Yes.
I could definitely give you a little bit brief about what my Erasmus was. So I decided to go to Budapest, in Hungary. Yeah, it was, and that it came after a huge competition because everyone wants to go for Erasmus because first of all, you get grants, you get funding from the European Union.
Yeah.
And then also, if you are a very high performing student, then you also have a scholarship from the university that you are given. And these are not small; they're substantial. They even cover probably your rent and a little bit of your food as well, I would say. So with all those things on the table, and again, new place, new exploration, and Roshan is ready. So this was my thing. And I love to fight. I love to fight for my place, because in this life, if you don't fight for your place, you're not going to get it. You're competing with billions of people. And my mentality, again, it wasn't easy because I was thinking, oh my God, there's so much competition. How am I going to get this? But then I also told myself, Roshan, in India, you're for the same thing, you would be competing with 1.3 billion people at the time.
Maybe even more now.
1.3
Yeah.
billion. No, no, that's the thing. All right, 1.3 billion, and in Lithuania at that point was like close to 3 million people. Right, the whole population is 3 million. Leave the old people and everybody aside. So my chances of achieving whatever I want now just increased by thousands of percentages. So why am I worrying? Just put the same effort what I would put, and maybe I would get it. And I wouldn't believe I fought till the end to get a space because there you could choose up to 5 different countries you want to go to, and then
Yeah.
according to the ranks and everything, and then you get one opportunity if you're good enough. So for me, Budapest came through, and I went to Budapest again, backpack for a semester basically for one semester. I did
Corvinus.
this.
Corvinus
Yes,
you were.
Corvinus. Yes, yes, the best university experience I had.
And
And
also,
there, mhm.
just to add to the audience, Budapest is the third happening city in entire Schengen. Paris, Prague, followed by Budapest.
Budapest.
As an explorer and a social person like Roshan, I'm sure more than Kaunas, you would have felt in love with Budapest.
Absolutely, because the moment I went there, I clicked with a lot of Italians. So in the end, we had tears in our eyes when we were leaving, because because we were 15 or 13 Italian people, and then there was one Indian, which is me, and then one French person. So we were a group throughout the whole thing, and I felt I was a part of them. Then I felt more of would be like, for example, with Indian people or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that. I wasn't that much with Indian people, but with them it was a community, and even the education was fantastic. And I realized, hopefully in the future I would want to come back. And with this community, you're not, because you know that you only have a limited period with them. So every day is a day where you want to utilize it fully. You want to plan something. Yeah, you want to plan something. You want to eat with them. You want to go out. You want to travel with them. So we went to Prague. We went to Vienna. We went to all those things together. We planned great trips. And every Friday would be a day where we all friends would just gather and just go crazy and have fun. It was a great experience. Great,
and
great
to do
thing.
all these things at the age of 19, 20, get exposed to all these stuffs and also parallelly keep learning. I feel this is all about life, man. Rather than sitting and complaining and having regrets, we might as well get out and just do it rather than
Yep.
sitting and talking, which we do nowadays, majority of them, rather than get to the act and get it done. That's how it. And just to add, Roshan, we have started several years back, of course, bachelor's itself in Hungary. We have started to do that now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
They
lucky
support.
students, whoever is going to Budapest, I can assure you're going to have a great time.
Great time. Wonderful. Wonderful. So then, which year you finished your bachelor's?
In 2020, yeah, that was the COVID time. So the moment I came back from Budapest is where I had to write my thesis that semester, and that's when I wrote my thesis in let's say using lean management to simplify processes for a logistics company. So I made them save time on all their processes and everything with a lot of calculation. And this is something I learned from my university, of course, which I applied in a practical company. I helped them reduce their cost, their wasting, their time waste, all those kind of things. And I enjoyed as I did that. And it was not to sound wrong, but it was in this COVID times where everybody was on a lockdown. So it really helped me to stay indoors and just finish my thesis. Because I'm sure that if I would be watching stories during normal time and seeing people are having fun while I'm doing my thesis, I would probably be a bit hurt. But everybody was at home, so like, okay, I might as well do my thesis.
Exactly. So the crisis, you changed it as an opportunity.
Yes.
And before that, when you said lean management, I was about to ask you, what did you save for that company? And before that itself, you listed everything.
Yeah.
Yes. And this is also the reason why I send my kids for UG, PG abroad to European countries. When whatever you learn is directly you can apply at the industry level, there is a high chances that you will get employed. But when what you study, it's here, and what is expected in the industries, it's here. It's like done and dusted. Just to add, Roshan, since you are far away, you may not have read this news. 3-4 days before, lot of people from Accenture and Infosys, after their campus placement, were asked to leave the campus after 3-4 months. because they were not able to, clear the examinations that was kept at these companies basically.
Oh,
So,
really?
yes, you can just type 400
Oh.
people were sent out of Infosys last week. They used bouncers and it was very, very sad actually. But you know what these people will blame? The students were not good. The students were not, competent enough. I will never blame any youngster. Who taught them? Did you teach them latest syllabus? Did they understand and study? You gave the marks, they completed the degree. Who is to be at fault? Unless and until the child gets high quality education, I will never question him why you don't have a job, why you are earning less. I feel we are not entitled to ask such questions to an youngster unless and until, we satisfy his right. What is his right, Roshan? High quality education. You should give him quality education, then hold his hand and ask questions. Nobody is stopping you. But without giving the proper ingredients, you ask him to prepare an excellent meal, I feel it's a non-starter. Yes. So then now, before we talk about your professional life, I would like you to tell the parents and the fathers and mothers especially who are so hesitant to jump into this particular aspect, that is bachelor's abroad. Of course, everything starts from students' interest. Even in your case, Roshan, you browsed, you collected all info, then went to your mama. Okay. She thought about it, approved your plan because she knows that her son is smart enough, talented enough, competent enough to handle this. That also she took time and replied. Okay. This is the process flow. But as you said, if it's the other way around, parents alone pushing the student will not work out. So, but for those students who are really interested, so what you would like to tell to their parents as a successful student who studied bachelor's and working in Europe?
I would say that always really support your son or your daughter, because this will be probably the most amazing, life-changing, I'm honestly saying life-changing decision that you will be supporting. Because once they get onto this journey, and you will see that they will have to do everything themselves, they will become more independent, they will become more smarter, they will learn and meet new people, and that will change and shape the reality of how the world is working. Because you're sitting in one place watching on the TV is completely different, and then when you're actually in the ground reality, and when you're experiencing new community, new things, I think it shapes you as a person. And I'm really, really grateful to my mother that she approved. She pushed me to do this as well, saying that, okay, let's go for it.
She only shifted the lever. Okay, you can start your. I guess from there, you made it.
From there, it was again. It was parents can do also this part, but at the same time, also your kid has to understand that it's not going to be easy. Because some people, and like you said, right? So some people said that, sir, job cut, immediate job cut, I mean, you have a lot of patience there. Because if I would be in your shoes, I would literally take a notepad and be like, what else do you want, sir? Do you want this? Do you want that? Because come on, it's 100% efforts, because efforts is what's going to give you results. No efforts, no results.
Roshan, I have come to a point where at least they don't ask me, will you even find a girl for my, son to get married in Europe? Until they don't ask me that question,
you'll be happy.
I'll be happy. And last week, Roshan, there was a guy along with the father, mother. Okay, they were convinced about everything, but the uncle kind of hindered the plan. You know what his question was? You will be shocked. It's funny also. He said, sir, put aside this high quality education, laboratories, syllabus and everything. What about the food? What sort of food you are giving him? I said, like, food? What food? I don't have any mess or canteen to do it. The student has to prepare on his own. He was like, excuse me, how will the small guy prepare his own food? Then I said, study in India. Every morning they will give you pongal. In afternoon they will give you all these biryani and sambar. In the night also they will give you dinner. You might as well be here. Why do you go to Europe? You have to do everything on your own. See, if food is the priority, why you travel abroad? Seriously, I don't understand. Meaning to say true. You can prepare your own food, right? It's not a big deal. And there are a lot of eateries around you. I don't think this is even a question to be discussed in this interview, or even to be asked to anyone when it comes to the food.
But that also shows how different our people are thinking, and that's why you should. That is the reason why you should send your kid abroad. Because, for example, now I see people here who are 15, 16. They're preparing their own food. They're doing their own laundry. Everything they're doing themselves. And that is how it should be. Your parents are supposed to give you birth to take care of you. Of course, yes, they are. But at the same time, there are certain things like doing your laundry, cooking your food, and everything has to be done by you. You can't tell that, oh my God, okay, if I had the same situation, Lithuania doesn't give me biryani at the time, right?
No,
So
no,
what did I
no.
do? I put on my headphones, I call my mom, I keep her on the side. I said, Ma, I want to prepare
Teach
biryani and
me.
I miss home. Tell me, what do I
That,
do? And she tell me
that
process by process. What do I do? It was
exactly.
fantastic.
That's why I
Oh
tell
my
my
God.
parents. I tell my parents, when the child is hungry, okay, he will prepare a better food than anyone else. Okay, when he is hungry, he will make the best food possible, and you don't have to worry about all this cooking, etc., etc. So then now we move on to your professional life. So what year did you complete your degree, Roshan?
In
20,
2020.
2020. So how was the job search? How many jobs you applied approximately? And what was your first job?
Oh, I think my job kind of started in 2019.
Okay.
Uh, because I had an opportunity again. This every summer I would return home to spend time with my mom and etc. But
Yes, yes.
that one 2019 I decided to stay in Lithuania because let's experience Lithuanian summer. And then I had an opportunity where Western Union, as a massive company, so it was looking for an interns basically. It was an internship. And I thought, okay, well, let's apply and see what's up. Because again, here, Western Union is a massive corporate,
Yes.
and employing more than 1,000 people. So, and I was like, okay, let's. It'll be a good aspect to work in a big company already. And I applied for it, fortunate enough to get it. And there, I again, Roshan being Roshan, I had to make a name, had to thrive, had to stand out from the crowd and everything which I do. And they were very impressed, and they said that once you graduate, you really have to come work with us, because we would love to have you here. So I
Super.
said, okay, okay. And once I graduated in 2020, of course, with the whole COVID thing, and Western Union is in Vilnius, which is the capital of Lithuania.
Yes.
And I was in Kaunas at the time. So I was looking for, with this lockdown situations and etc. I just wanted to be in Kaunas for some time until the situation gets a bit better. So I
Okay.
had an opportunity to work for a startup at the time as a digital marketing specialist. And
Okay.
that's where my journey, professional journey began, I would say. And of course, it wasn't easy because startups are very dynamic. They
Dynamic.
change very fast.
Very true.
They in and out. So it was like this. And I think that journey lasted maybe for 4 months,
4 months.
which was okay. But I learned a lot. I understood the concept of working with local people because in India everybody is more or less, you're dealing with the same kind of mindset people. But here everybody is, it's a whole different world. You have to deal with them. You have to adapt.
Different.
You need to adjust and you need to manage to work with them because that is what makes you a human. Because every time you're going to be into different teams and you have to adapt to that team. You can't say that no, I'm like this, you have to adapt to my way. No, you're working with them, so gotta work with them. So I think it started there. And after that, situation became better in Lithuania with lockdown. And Lithuania is one of the most safest cities during lockdown as well. Least number
Yeah,
of
yeah.
cases, a very, very well controlled situation. It was fantastic. And I moved to Vilnius, started working in Western Union because Western Union offered me a job. I started working as a sales associate and as in operations as well. And it was good, 2 years in that role. And then I moved forward to internal audit because I felt the need to step up again because I can't be in that place for a long time. I need to keep growing.
Yeah.
And
Then
yeah, I moved to internal audit, and then I became an auditor, and that was one of those proudest moments of my life, I would say, because in India, for example, if you want to become an auditor, it is impossible unless and until you do chartered accountancy, CA. You need to do that and only do this. So I was happy because I was thinking, Ma, in India, I would have to suffer so much to become an auditor. And here I am working for a multinational corporate as an internal auditor. And the level of respect, the level of honor I had at the time was fantastic. And that lasted for a while. And of course, again, every company has its ups and downs. So Western Union decided to downsize. And at that time, with my temporary residence permit is completely dependent on the job. So I was in a very interesting situation, and because of this, they had to let me go. And 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 at that time, I was in a very stressful situation because you lose a job, you barely have a month 1 month to find another job to do this whole process of changing your TRP provider and everything. So that was very stressful. But then at that time, SEB, a very popular Swedish bank, they came forward and they offered me a role, saying that, do you want to work with us instead? I said, of course. I'm already in fintech because Western Union, so might
I
as
would love
well.
to. Yeah.
That's a step up again. And I was like, all right, I'm taking this. And then I started working again in SEB Bank, and in SEB Bank I worked as a credit officer. So my job was to it was, of course, it was sort of confidentiality, but it was a very prestigious job as well.
Super.
So yeah, and again, it was good pay, good community. It was a Swedish bank, so it was had Swedish
Yes.
values. So again, that made me feel great. And I think I worked for a year there, and then I realized that okay, this place is now starting to get bored, and that is one thing. The best part about being in Europe is that in India they look at your CV and they want to see that, oh, you give it all your life for this one company or something like this, and that is not my approach. Today's youth is, you want to feel good, you want to feel happy. If that place is not providing, someplace else, there are
Yes.
plenty of opportunities. So that's when SEB fulfilled its journey, and I realized, okay, it's time to move on. And then at the time, I also applied for my permanent residency, which I had to go through was with the language and constitution. So I had to pass those exams in order to get my PR. And once I
Yeah.
had this, then I decided to take a break. I said that, okay.
Yeah.
And that is also something which is very appreciated here. In India, you take a break for half a year from between work or something like this, and people start judging you, they start putting you down. Oh my God, you're not doing it. But here they encourage it. They encourage it. It's like, mate, take a break, like you've been working, you're earning this money to live a good life. You're not living to work. You're working to
Exactly.
live. So
Exactly.
that mentality, I loved it, and I took a break, and that was one of the best decisions that I made. I learned a lot about myself. I had this free time to go around, do things, and etc. And having PR helped me, because if I was in TRP, then I would be more stressed. But with
Yes.
PR, it was fantastically smooth as butter. And then looking at my LinkedIn, I think that is something students should definitely focus on, is to update their LinkedIn, keep it always up to date. And another fintech came forward. It's called Wittix. And they came forward and they said that, I know that you worked as internal auditor and everything, but we know that you can talk well. So would you like to work as a sales account manager? And I said, okay, because I know that I'm a great speaker, and that's one of the reasons why I was doing. There's so many things I've done for Western Union as well, and promotions and everything, which I'm on YouTube as well. So I believe they saw my videos on YouTube, and that's when they decided to give me an opportunity to work as a sales account executive. And I said, okay, let's do this. And right now, I'm currently working in this role, and I'm loving it. I'm loving the thrill I get with negotiating with people, to close deals and to get in commissions and to get to a good salary. I think all the things is. I'm enjoying my, let's say, professional journey, and I'm also excited for what is coming ahead.
What is coming up? And Roshan, looking at, we have almost been talking to almost like 50 minutes now. The moment you decided you don't want to be following the normal path, okay, you want to be little offbeat, you want to be innovative and keep moving forward. I think that ignited the entire process, Roshan. And of course, you made it count. Your mom supported you, everything. But to think at the age of 17, you don't want to be one among the crowd, and you wanted to be the person where the entire crowd follows you and looks up to you. I guess to have that level of thought process at the age of 17, man, you are really blessed. Wonderful. We are very
Thank
happy
you, sir.
for ESC to play a small role, into this entire process. Really, really happy. And even though this is my 16th year, this interview, these many number of interviews that I did motivates me also, most likely for the next 16 years, which is really, really amazing. So now, how happy your mother is right now, looking at all your progress. And I'm sure she's going to watch this interview, and I want you to, I've already added you in my LinkedIn. So I want you to text me what was your mother's feedback. And I'm sure she's going to be super proud watching at this.
I'm hoping, absolutely, but yeah, I think she's been my biggest support throughout, because
Yes,
I think
from day one, yeah.
Yeah, I think even this 9 years, there hasn't been, let's say, a week which have gone with more than 3 days without talking to her. So even though she's living in Dubai right now,
Okay.
she still keeps she still is she feels like she's a part of my life here.
Okay.
She knows everything that's going on in my life and everything. And that is something I cherish this, because half the people, they don't do this thing. They come here,
Yes.
they get a sense of freedom, and they feel like, oh, okay, let's forget our parents. We are going to be the masters of our life. And yeah, be a master of your life, but don't forget who
But
sent
still,
you
yeah,
here in the first
roots.
place.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so my mom
Wonderful.
is my biggest support, and every low moment she's been there. And I think a big part, yes, my mentality played a big role in where I am today. But I think this mentality only came because of how I was raised, and I think that goes to my mom,
And
honestly.
yes, absolutely. And I guess also due credit goes to the European education system and KTU. Don't you think so? No?
Absolutely, the way they shaped me, because I think even now I'm in touch with most of my
Yes.
professors, staff there, and everything, and even I have close relations with most of them. And I always tell them, if it weren't for KTU, if it weren't for me taking this step and taking this journey through this university, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I
Exactly.
think a big sense of gratitude definitely goes to definitely ESC as well, because
Thank you.
you I mean, you could have actually sent me somewhere else for all I know.
No,
You guys are also pretty persistent where you're sending me. So you
no,
did
no.
this
People
proper
will make fun
scouting.
of us. Some people, what is this Lithuania? What is this Czech Republic? What is this? What is it? Netherlands? We have never heard about those countries. Okay, boss, you don't have to go. Please move out of the office. No problem. Go to UK. Spend 1 crore, 1.5 crore for your bachelor's. Who is stopping you? Please, proceed. Rather, okay, he is telling something. Let us do the research and take a process. I'm sure, especially after this, watching these interviews, our job will be much easier. People will come and say, sir, I saw Mr. Roshan's interview. What is the next step we should do? Because see, this is the whole idea. People should know towards what they are heading to. That is really
Absolutely. And I also, my message to also the parents would be is that please do not be, I'm sorry to sound a little bit harsh, probably my European self talking right now, but please do not be ignorant. Don't be ignorant, because always have an open mind. Okay, if you're not aware of Lithuania or something, it doesn't make, I mean, I'm sorry, nobody should make fun of you, because it shows more about how ignorant and how uninformed they are. So
exactly.
get this knowledge, at least
Yes,
explore, have the open mind to at least think about it.
exactly. I tell people we have 40 offices across India. Right from
Yeah.
Jammu Kashmir till Trivandrum, we have close to 40 offices. It's so easy for me to sit and promote all these US, UK, Australia, New Zealand, Canada, and make a truckload of money.
Yeah.
Whereas here in Lithuania, Roshan has to attend the interview. Okay. And there is something called as nostrification. And then we have to fight for dates with VFS, secure the date, then clear the visa interview, then reach there. It's not like a cakewalk. Okay, Shivaraman accepted. He's into the university. Never. No, people should understand all these things. That's
Absolutely.
why I'm telling this. And one more point which you said, Roshan, the working is for living or living is for working. People really get confused. Just to quote this incident before we sum up this beautiful interview, 2-3 weeks before, we had a
Yeah.
small dinner in a sense, on Saturday at 7:30, 8 o'clock. There were like close to 12 people along with me. But other than me and one more person, everybody was on their phone and laptop and then having their dinner. I felt like, what is happening here? And, when they get a call, they really get pissed off. They are really upset, but they force them to do all those things, which I feel it's a complete work-life imbalance and it affects their health in a very big way. And imagine, you have to do a job which you don't like all your life. I feel it's catastrophe.
Absolutely.
Getting up in the Monday morning, people start to think, when will Friday come? And when Friday comes, they fear, when is Monday going to come? This sort of Monday to Friday mindset, I feel, I cannot. Same like you, Roshan. I would like to love what I do, and as you rightly said, we wanted to be, standing out. That's why these episodes of 100 interviews. With this interview, I'm almost done, 85 maybe. So another 10 or
Another
so,
15, yeah.
15, 15, 15, yeah, 15, 18 to go. Wonderful. So excellent, very nice talking to you, and I learned a lot of things, and you had a lot of energy. You just still is like 17, 18-year-old guy, like to talk and share. At that age, the student will be really, what to say, bubbling with energy and all those things. You are just still the same. Wonderful, and I'm sure, Roshan, without your permission, I can say this to the audience: even if one student gets motivated out of Roshan's interview, he will be super happy, and we will also be like super happy. And for you also, it's like this almost 1 hour video is like for you to look back. Maybe after a few years, you see this interview, you see like you recall from your, what to say, Sherwood School to your current job. It was a fantastic journey. And for me to do this interview, I'm really honored and happy. We were also able to be a small minuscule part in your entire journey, and major thanks goes to your mom and KTU. This, without your permission, I will say this. Of course, you were always there. Mom and KTU gets the majority of the credits. Then only Roshan. Then only Europe.
Absolutely, yeah.
That's how it is. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Roshan, and do stay in touch. And whenever I'm coming to Vilnius, surely I'll take your time and we'll meet for a coffee. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you so much again for having me and for me to share the story. And yeah, you are right. Anybody who would try to at least look at this and move and come forward, I think you're not going to regret, zero regrets. I can guarantee you that much. And definitely, I'm looking forward to meeting you, even if I ever come to Chennai or you come to Vilnius.
Most welcome. Most welcome.
We are definitely catching up, and there'll be more to discuss, I'm sure.
Sure. And we will do exactly after 10 years. That will be FinTech part 2 interview with Mr. Roshan. Okay, we will do this after 10 years. So in that interview, we talk all about FinTech, what you have done in the last 10 years. You see, this is all part of knowledge, right? We spend 1 hour, but people looking at this, even when a school children watches this interview, Roshan, he will first of all ask ChatGPT, what is FinTech? A 7th standard, 8th standard student, what is FinTech? Then it starts to develop interest. In this interview, we have spread a lot of positivity. For example, we even forget to, the fee structure. On behalf of you, which I will mention, the fee structure is approximately plus or minus 3 lakhs per year, to study in KTU. What was the living expenses, Roshan? I know it's long back when you studied, because parents asked me to ask this question. That's why. Living expenses.
Oh, okay. When I was studying, the living expenses, something between, first of all, it's all about how much you want to spend. It also depends on you. But let's say the accommodation was close to 100 euros at the time. And I wanted to live in a single room, so 120 maximum for a single room, which is perfect. If you want to stay in a double room with another person, then you're paying even lesser, like 70 or 80 euros at the time. And for food, probably another, at the time was 150 to 100 maximum. But again, it depends on how much you want to, what you want to eat or what you want to spend. Because if you want to go outside all the time, then it gets more. But if you're actually doing it home, then you can do it. So I think in Indian rupees, it was all between 15,000 at the time. Everything. I would manage 15 to 17,000. I would manage everything.
Cheaper than studying in a Bangalore or Chennai. Because we do all these interviews. Exactly. We do all these interviews, and finally we'll tell the people, somehow spend 2 crores or 1.5 crores for your bachelor's. Then they will skip this video. Boss, it's cheaper than studying in a South Indian deemed university. That's how it is. Wonderful, Roshan. Thank you so much, and best wishes to you. And I'm sure you as a person, you'll always keep expanding and pushing your limits, which without even asking you, I know that. So best wishes to you. Convey our best regards to your family members also. We will catch up very soon. Okay. Thank you.
Definitely, Siva. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Bye-bye.